Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading, I was inspired by some past lives that were coming through this morning. So we're going to be looking at your past lives. I was looking over mine and taking some notes on the many different areas that I've lived, the different people I've been, the different jobs I've had. It's such a vast array, and it's really cool to really see the entire story arc of your soul's journey. So we may get multiple past lives, we may get one. We are going to find out. I don't know. So we've got 3 options to choose from today. Group number 1 is the Hourglass, group number 2 is Ganesh, and group number 3 is the Sea Turtle. If you feel called to more than one group, that's totally fine. Obviously, we have multiple past lives, so there may be multiple messages within the readings today. Take what resonates and leave the rest, as these are general readings. We'll see you there. Okay, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the Hourglass. Right away, I'm getting ancient Sanskrit, okay? So I'm seeing it visually and they just gave me that. So there's something about that time period. I don't actually know too much about where Sanskrit is from. I'm gonna have to look that up after the reading. But there may be something about ancient Mesopotamia. Yeah, it feels like ancient Middle East. Maybe, I don't know if Mesopotamia is part of that, but I did get that. So these could be multiple different messages, multiple different lives. I'm also seeing ancient Egypt or something around that area. So this does feel like a long time ago. They're showing me stone tablets, okay, with like runic glyphs on them. They could be Sanskrit. They could be... Yeah, I think they are Sanskrit. I'm going to have to Google that and compare and contrast. But yeah. Okay, so that's coming up, just right off the bat from just your image. So let's take a look. I actually did select the Egypt Star Oracle. So let's find out for you guys, because this feels like the deck was here for you. I actually feel this card. Restraint or the end of conflict. Red one of Kentet. Okay, so this feels like there was something you were restrained with in that past life, but it's coming up now to be, I just heard received. I was going to say resolved. So when Spirit does that, there's always a reason. And I just saw 144 on the time. I'm putting those codes up onto the screen now for you guys because those are activation codes. So anyway, number 13 is also important here. So 144 and number 13 could be significant. These are both sacred divine numbers. Ancient Egypt. Again, they're showing me Sanskrit. Sanskrit's really important here. Okay, Spirit, can you give me more information about that? Because I feel like when they keep bringing stuff up repeatedly, it's because I either missed something or there's like more information that they're trying to get across. Okay, so they're saying that the Sanskrit language was known to you at that time. In that lifetime, you spoke that language, whether or not it was where you were from. You were very familiar with it. I'm getting almost like scholarly. Maybe you were somebody who did scripting, or you did, like maybe translations or something like that. It could have just been that you spoke that language, but I'm feeling like this was something to do with that time period, and they're showing me that you guys had like ancient codes in that language. Okay, so they're recommending that you actually just look at ancient Sanskrit texts, even if you don't understand or speak the language now. It's like your soul kind of it knows that language, and so you can get information from it even if your conscious mind has no idea what it is that you're reading. So there's something about, activation codes in ancient Sanskrit. Okay, so now back to the restraint or the end of conflict. I feel like this is coming up to be seen. There's something about those codes that are going to help you to release something or ending some kind of a conflict. Yeah, it feels like you were bound up in something karmically or bound up in a loop of some kind. Maybe it was a contract of some kind. It feels almost like slavery, but I don't think this is going to apply to everyone. So only take that if that resonates, because I'm not getting it super, super strongly. I'm maybe like 10% of people who are drawn to this group that's going to relate. But yeah. Okay, I actually feel those 2 cards. Actually 3, okay. Yeah, 4. They just keep saying, take that one, take that one. All right. Chaos. Upper Kentet. There's a lot to do with Kentet as well. 11 coding. accomplishment, end of the crane. Yeah, this does feel like, oh, I just saw 444. Yeah, there's something about like you being able to end this conflict or end this chaos. You are coming out of a karmic cycle. Yeah, that's what they just showed me with the snake. Okay, so I was getting that. Now they're bringing it through even stronger. You have security. So you're creating inner security now, or your soul is getting back to this place of security. This is Nephthys, goddess of childbirth and mourning. Interesting, okay. Okay, and then sowing seeds. Band of reeds. Number 14. I did feel called to this deck as well, so let's get some of these animal messages for you. The spider. Yeah, okay, when I see the spider, the web always reminds me of like karmic entanglement and sometimes even negative entities and stuff like that. So if you were in like these programs or timelines where there was a lot of negative interference, you may have had, yeah, they did just give me the word oppression. Knowledge oppression, they said, knowledge oppression. So you were a very wise and intelligent person, soul, you are a very wise and intelligent soul, group number 1. And what they're showing me is that you kind of got stuck in this time loop. They're showing me the image that you chose, which was the hourglass. So it was like time kept turning back on itself. You kept looping back into these karmic timelines. And there was something of like a lack of security that was being almost like used against you as a trap to keep you stuck in that loop. It's like you found a pattern in the chaos so that you could free yourself from the constraints that had been seated in you. It's like there was this use of dysfunctional pain programs, is what they just said. Pain programs to oppress your knowledge, your innate soul wisdom. And there's something about those Sanskrit texts. They keep showing those stone things in front of my eyes. Okay, maybe I'm meant to like extract some of the coding from that. Okay, so what they're showing me is that like the gist of the information that the Sanskrit writings had was it was like this sacred knowledge, and it was sacred knowledge that gave power over one's environment. It was like it was a status thing in that day and age. If you could read, if you could write even, it was very, very high status, and therefore you were more knowledgeable, you were of an upper class. And what I'm seeing is that you were a very intelligent person and a very wise, knowledgeable, experienced soul. However, in that timeline, part of this loop, and it was like a crime. It was like a crime against you, is what it feels like. That you got stuck in this slavery system of feeling as though you didn't have the intelligence or the wisdom or the knowledge you needed. It was like it was cut off from you, where there were pieces missing, and it led to a lot of self-constraint. Believing that you were helpless is what they just said, and then embracing that chaos, like believing in that chaos, thinking that you were lesser than and there were other people who were greater than because they had this knowledge, but it was always accessible within you. It was just like you needed to learn that for yourself. And this was the great accomplishment from that lifetime to now, is that those seeds that were sown actually ended up helping you, ironically, even though those seeds were not necessarily great, right? It was like a lot to do with feeling almost like enslaved by your own false beliefs, like negative self-beliefs and stuff like that were used against you to keep you in that loop. But they ended up actually helping you to create more security for yourself. So it backfired entirely. That's a good thing. We have the goose. Take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Okay, group number 1, I feel like you went through a lot in that lifetime and the lifetimes leading up to this. There's been a lot of chaos, okay? Your soul has accomplished a lot here, and it's very, like, your soul is very ambitious in what it takes on. You don't really play it safe. You like to fly high in that sense, which is, I think, why some of those lifetimes, or this one that we're talking about particularly, where you were stuck in that lower state of consciousness, or you felt like you were less than, or whatever it was, it actually it tired you out at soul level. So I'm seeing now that it would be helpful for you to rest because this chaos has been disruptive for you. So your soul needs some kind of rest. Let's find out what would be helpful there. You've got dog, loyalty, faithfulness. But it says your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. And it's falling right underneath this guy being carried on, what do you call that, a palanquin? Yeah, so again, I feel like you were the slave and you had a master, or yeah, that's what they told me that it was. Okay. And it really ingrained into your consciousness, this idea of like less than. So you need some time to recuperate. And I think loyalty to yourself is going to be the most important thing, like building back up your security, your sense of inner confidence, your capacity and knowledge to create your own reality, sowing the seeds from your own intention, your own inner authority. They just said inner authority. Yeah. Oh, reclaiming inner authority, getting out of these old constrictions and belief systems around mental slavery or being less than. Yeah, they keep saying that. Okay. Okay, let's get one of these cards for you, group number 1. Time out. You guys picked the hourglass, which is all about time, cycling and cycling and cycling back on itself. And they're saying you need a rest, like you need a time out. This is going to help to increase your sense of security. It's going to sow the right seeds in this tree of life, is what they just told me. You have a lot of wisdom here, and it's almost like it needs to be integrated. So I think taking some time right now, group number 1, to let yourself feel these things that are coming up from the past, and they're probably going to come up in sort of like indirect ways is what they're showing me. They're going to come up in other ways, not necessarily specific to what you experienced in this lifetime, but they're going to be the same like general themes. Okay, so if you want to look for themes of feeling less than, experiencing chaos in your life because you feel like you can't control your reality or you can't lead yourself to what you want to accomplish, feeling as though you are subservient to someone else, be it the government, bosses, parents, even like friends or anything like media, society, anything at all, anything that makes you feel like you cannot trust your own self to lead the way or to be free is really kind of like that's the theme that is going to be contended with. It's not even like you need to contend with it. It's not like you're even fighting this old structure anymore. It's coming to your awareness because you've already done a fair amount of work on this inner security, and now they're just saying take some time off right now to let this integrate, let this percolate, let this come to the surface. Be faithful to yourself. Let your faith be renewed is what they just said as well. Let your faith be renewed in the wisdom of your soul. Okay. So they want you to come back into sovereignty. They just gave me that as well. You know, the light side of this ruler is sovereignty, self-sovereignty, which is the opposite of that self-slavery mechanism you were in before. Yeah, they're definitely talking about taking some time out here. Let's get one more card from this deck. Yeah, they just keep giving me the word integrate, taking some time to integrate, sitting with yourself, downloading this knowledge, getting activations I'm seeing as well. Believe. I just heard believe in yourself, because this was the opposite, or this is the opposite of that chaotic program, which was like your self-belief was damaged. They sowed seeds of doubt in your mind and they took root in your soul. But like I said, those seeds actually ended up backfiring on that negative agenda, because you were able to see once they grew into something bigger and started manifesting externally, because you had so much soul wisdom and knowledge. You're like, oh wait, I see these patterns, I see these cycles, and I know that this is not what I want to create and not what I came here to do or to be. I feel like you did take some time out in between incarnations. They just gave me that message as well, group number 1. So you may have like died in that previous lifetime and then stayed in the spirit realm for a while to kind of unpack things and make sure that that cycle didn't continue any further than it absolutely needed to. I'm seeing the cobras here in these two cards also being significant. So cobras may be a synchronicity or symbol for some of this past life healing that's going on here. Yeah, the black cobra, something about a black cobra. Yeah, the oppressors, they tried to tarnish your belief, to poison your power, to kill your ancestry roots. They just said your roots of ancestry, of the soul, the security you had within. But you awakened anyway. They can't stop that. No, they can't. I wasn't sure if we were going to get this deck. This is a new deck that somebody just sent in, and I want to say thank you to the person who sent this in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's take a look. Some clarification here for you. Ooh, I'm getting hot. Like I just felt like this heat wave go through my body. And this is I think it's called the Il Fuego Tarot deck. So interesting. Let's see. 3 of Swords. Yeah, this is the pain. Apples may be significant as well. They just said apples represent knowledge, the tree of knowledge, the knowledge of good and evil, something about the Garden of Eden. Huh. Okay. 6 of Swords, taking some time out to rest. They keep repeating that because, oh, look at that. You may have even walked on, what do you call those? Like a bed of nails, you know? The cobra, the snake charmer, the bed of nails. It could have been like something to do with street performing. Okay. Queen of Wands. I'm definitely getting creativity here. And sovereignty, they just said again. Yeah, sovereignty is important in this soul evolution. Knight of Swords. They showed me the Sanskrit texts again. So this is communication and activations. That's what the lightning always represents to me, is like activations. It's consciousness, downloads, things like that, awakening. They just, I actually couldn't see the bottom of this card because my microphone stand is kind of in the way, and they had me lean over and look at what it says on the spider. It says, trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. Okay, so the creative spark, that's another thing that those lightning bolts can represent. So it feels like you are meant to be growing something in this lifetime, group number 1, that may take you some time to create. And that's why they're saying make sure that you're taking care of yourself and resting, because you have a lot of work here in this life to do physically, like practically, hands-on work at the human level. And you've done a lot of soul work that was really kind of heavy lifting. Like you're very... very strong. They're showing me like one of those old-timey bodybuilders, like weightlifters, you know, like the guys from Family Guy, eggs and steak and eggs, you know, like you're just like super beefy, like very strong. It's so funny. My spirit guides have a real sense of humor. So there could be something about inspiring and enlightening or awakening others through writing, because they kept showing me those activation codes through ancient Sanskrit. Maybe those were something that like you're meant to translate now, or you're meant to write something that's going to be kind of like that activates people. It shares consciousness. It helps to broaden people's minds. It gets people out of these karmic loops. They said performing a great feat and accomplishing it. I see that. Yep, I see that. Okay. I see this horse like riding through the darkness in my third eye. Like they're showing me this horse riding through the darkness and emerging, almost like leaping through a wall of fire, kind of like it looks like in the card here. But there's something about it feels like courage almost. They also did just say having the right resources. Something about having the right resources. Can I get clarification on that? Ace of Wands, the creative spark. Oh, they said show you my wand. Okay, they did have me put that here. It's never here on the table. It was actually packed away, and they had me take it out, and now they said show you my wand. This is my wand. I made this. Yeah, so there's something about wands. It's like power, and wands represent basically And this is a very protective wand, by the way. I'm going to put it in your reading here. Look, put it at the top. The wands represent like a focus of your power. So it concentrates your magic. That's why magicians are always shown with wands. So it takes the magic that you already have within you, and it just kind of hones it into a focal point like a laser, so that you can express it or externalize it. So I'm seeing your wand is important here. Maybe your wand is a pen. Maybe you're meant to be a writer, or you're meant to share something. Maybe your wand is some other creative effort, as the spider in its light aspect can be about creative expression, as it says in the card. So I'm definitely seeing that you're going to be sowing seeds. And instead of those seeds being filled with doubt like they were before, it's like it's filled with security, it's filled with truth, it's filled with this highest balanced knowledge. They just said the more that you take time out to meditate, the stronger this inner security is going to be, and the greater your confidence will become to be able to share this creative thing, or this inspiration that you're getting. They're showing me that you're going to be getting a lot of soul level inspiration. Your soul's bringing through a lot of ancient knowledge, and you're going to be expressing that, and it's going to lead to some great accomplishment for you in this lifetime, group number 1. They said it's just a matter of time, and then they showed me the hourglass turning over again. Okay, so these cycles of time have not necessarily been like negative loops. Every single passage of time, every single time that hourglass turned over has been teaching you something. You have a lot of wisdom, and I think that's why they were showing us like that bodybuilder heavy lifting, right? Is because you've put in a lot of time and effort into this. That's why your belief is so strong now. It's like you fought for that. Okay. Knight of Wands. The key is within. You have a treasure within you. They want you to unlock that. They keep showing me those Sanskrit texts. Look at Sanskrit, group number 1. Just Google it. It'll come up. Something will call you to it. You're going to magnetize to it when it's time. When you're ready, it will show up. They just said too. Yeah, so like maybe you'll go looking for it. Maybe it'll just show up. Yeah, they said the fortress within, like the kingdom within. It's inner security. That's the key that unlocks this treasure of wisdom that you have stored up there. 8 of Swords. Okay, both of these two are blindfolded. So this is like blind faith, okay? It's really important that you have this faith in the divine, is what they just said. Faith in the divine, because that's where the real treasure trove of inner security comes from, is faith with the divine. 6 of Wands, accomplishment, victory, success. Yeah, so there's going to be some real physical manifestation of success in this lifetime because of this inner security that you've cultivated over these many different incarnational cycles, specifically in this particular past life where things got a little tricky. But again, it worked in your favor because you were able to alchemize that, transmute. They just said, yeah, you were able to transmute that and use it to your advantage. So it's like you took that negative something that they gave you and you turned it into something else. They gave you lemons, you turned it into lemonade. You started selling that lemonade. Now you've got this, this success. Interesting. A lot of this comes from your power of faith, like just the pure will to be able to keep going. You've also got the 5 of Swords here. That was the distorted mental thought that was keeping you in that chaos loop. But again, you just like, you alchemized that. Alchemized it. Through belief. Because those were the seeds. Okay, they want this one last card. 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is a rest card. They've talked about rest and recuperate. They've talked about taking a time out. 4 of Swords is coming up to let you know, group number 1, that the best thing you can do right now is rest. They're showing me you meditating, lying down, listening to healing frequencies, doing a little bit of studying, letting your creative inspirations guide you. If you need to take some time off work, I think that's being recommended here. They're saying that would be advisable. Yeah, so it's like taking, let's say like a week off work if you're able to do that. First of all, because it's like reclaiming your sovereignty and saying, I have time freedom. Oh, right, the hourglass, time freedom. That's the accomplishment you're moving towards. That slavery was, you were exchanging time Oh, your life force energy. They just said you were exchanging your life force energy and your time in that control system to get your needs met, literally to like buy food. So we can still see this going on today, right? It's not quite as extreme as the slavery of those past experiences were, but it's a similar template. It's work slavery. Oh boy. So this may, for you, group number one, if you resonate with this, you may be called into entrepreneurial pursuits or self-employment, sole proprietorship, some kind of creative expression like they were showing us possibly to do with art or writing, something that gives you time freedom in general. Like it doesn't have to be those specific things, but there's something about time freedom here that's really important and significant in you completely recalling these parts of your soul and reintegrating this it's not lost, but it was like walled off or restricted from you. It was like the restricted section in the library, quite literally, this could be referring to the Akashic library, your own Akashic library. It's like these were parts of your soul knowledge or skills or wisdom that were kind of blocked off from you temporarily because of these wounds, because of these negative thought programming and stuff like that, because of the experiences you had. So now reversing that, and they just said, reversing the flow, getting your life force energy back is going to be through resting and having time freedom to be able to pursue your creative insights, to meditate, to connect with the divine, to channel your sacred knowledge, to transmit that as you feel called or if you feel called. And that is going to be the major accomplishment of this lifetime. I do see physical success here in terms of your career too, but most of this success, like the biggest part of it, the most important part of it, is the fact that you're freeing yourself from this old time cycle or this old, they said time restriction cycle of karma. So you're free. You're getting yourself free. You're out of that web, out of that net, and unlocking that power, that treasure within to create that security for yourself long term. Seven of Swords. Okay, I wasn't going to keep going, but I just like unconsciously pulled this card with my hand. So Seven of Swords is that old distorted template. But again, you see the lion here. He's brave and strong, even though he can't see. It's like even if they blindfolded you, you still had courage. You still had this strength and this willingness to persevere, to keep going, to find the answers. So like they couldn't completely cut you off from your soul knowledge. They just couldn't. The moon, because it was within you. You're very intuitive, group number one. I'm getting that. Very creative as well. A lot of this is in the subconscious mind, which again is why they're advising meditating, resting. Sleep is going to be important here. The sleep is going to give you access to this inner treasure. So pay attention to your dreams, maybe write them down. They said channeling, meditation, scripting could be important here. Exploring your lineage, which is why you're literally here in this reading. So you're doing the right thing. Group number one, this is what your soul is calling you to do, which is why this video came up on your feed. Okay, all right. I think that's pretty much it, group one. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope this reading was helpful in bringing light to some of these things. If this resonates, then take some time to rest and connect even deeper. Check out some Sanskrit stuff and get your time freedom, okay? Sending you guys so much love and blessings. Thank you so much for being here. I so deeply appreciate you guys here supporting my work on the channel in the various ways that you do, from sending in decks to super chats, super thanks, comments, likes, shares, subscribes, members who support me through the membership side of the channel where we do members only pick a card readings, ad-free, as well as monthly live streams. Thank you all so much. I love you, I love you, I love you, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number two. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose Ganesh. So Ganesh is the Hindu god of the removing of obstacles. So he helps to clear any restrictions or blocks. He brings a lot of blessings with him. And actually the inspiration for these readings today was because I woke up this morning and jumped on YouTube and just started like scrolling as I normally do. I came across a video that was a Ganesh mantra, and it was like a song, and I started crying, and I was like, what is this? And then they started showing me this past life that I was already aware of, but I hadn't seen this particular memory yet from that lifetime where I was a child, and my mother, I lived in India, and she used to sing to me, and it was a song similar to that. And I remembered being in my cradle and her singing to me, and it just brought me so much comfort. So I wanted to do these readings because this type of past life recollection can be so healing and integrative. It not only helps us to understand ourselves better and some of the emotions that we may have under the surface, but it also helps to bring up knowledge, skills, and wisdom that we developed in those past lives, as well as perspective. So let's get some information. Oh, we're going to start with the Muse deck for you guys. Interesting. Okay. 4 of Inspiration. They just gave me the word initiation. Okay, you have the 4 of Materials as well. 4s, and I just saw 144 on the time. So you've got 404 and 144, which are activation codes. They're telling me it's initiation. Yeah, there's some kind of an initiation that you're going through, group number 2. The sun code activations. Okay, so this could have been a past life. I'm seeing a past life of prosperity and abundance. It's somewhere very sunny. That's what they're showing me. It's not quite a desert, but it's hot like that. It may actually be India, since Ganesh was the symbol for this reading, but it feels hot, humid. You've got the 5 of Inspiration. Yeah, I'm seeing like portals that you're moving through, connecting to these different past lives. I'm also seeing the sacral chakra being emphasized here. So there's something to do with creativity that you're recalling from this past life in this hot, humid climate. They're showing me somebody walking through, it's like there's a jungle, but there's also a desert area. So there could have been somewhere it was like both, depending on the particular region. Yeah, the geography of this place is really cool. Or the topography, or whatever you call it. You've got the Lovers. I knew there was sacral chakra. They were showing me the mirror here at her crotch. Yeah, so that's sacral chakra. There's something to do here with sexuality, creative energy, self-expression, they just said as well. There's something of an initiation that's going on. Sacred yoni, they just said as well. And I looked up in the time, it was 333 on the recording. I'm putting those key codes, like the numerology codes, in the videos now, so you guys can see those when I see them, either here on the recording or when I'm editing. Okay, so they're showing me juicy fruit, like not juicy fruit, not the candy. They're showing me like actual tropical fruits. There was something about tropical fruits in this location. Yeah, they're showing me monkeys in the jungle and fruits, and they're showing me you like biting into or cutting open a juicy fruit, and it's like so sweet and delicious, and it's like the nectar of the gods, and you're embracing that in this moment that I'm seeing this person. Nice, beautiful tanned skin and beads of sweat on the skin because it's so humid out. I can hear the sounds of the jungle, like monkeys and birds and all these like sort of insect sounds buzzing in the background. This feels like a very peaceful life, very abundant. Like it was natural luxury, you felt really at home in your environment. There was a lot of activity all around you. You were so connected to nature. I'm feeling like this sense of gratefulness or gratitude and peace. It's like a big, overwhelming feeling of peace and stability that you really feel in this lifetime or felt in this lifetime, especially because your environment was hospitable and there was a lot of resources there. So it's like nature would always provide anything that you needed. It would be there. And so you were able to, it's like you were able to move freely. They just showed me this card as well, solar plexus. Okay, solar plexus and sacral chakra. Confidence and creative expression, birth, fertility, sexuality, sensuality as well. The sacral chakra can have to do with like enjoying the sensual pleasures of life, like quite literally, because the way that they're showing me this image or this scene is very sensual. Like I'm seeing I'm feeling the humidity. I'm seeing these like beads of sweat on this person's skin, and the juiciness of the fruit and the sounds. It all is just like so sensorially stimulating, and it's all very like nice, you know. It's very pleasant. It's very pleasurable. Yeah, so it doesn't always have to do with sexuality explicitly, although that's like obviously a sensual, pleasurable act that can go along with that. But there's something of an initiation that they're bringing you back to this for a reason, group number 2, because it's helpful in doing some kind of healing, or it's helping you to grow. So they want to talk about this today because it is helping you to blossom again in this lifetime. The Hierophant. I'm hearing wisdom. There's something about, like, she's like naked here. So there's something about returning to this origin helps you to reconnect with this very sort of basic level connection. It's like very, very body oriented, very environment oriented, very root chakra too. Okay, so we've got the 3 lower chakras. Yeah, okay. So root, sacral, and solar plexus. Yeah, they did say healing activation. This is the healing activation to help you to embody the aligned expressions of those through the memory of this lifetime, the imprint of this lifetime in your soul, where you had access to whatever you needed. I do actually feel this card on top as well. The wheel. The wheel of fortune can represent cycles of time, and it can also represent abundance. So yeah, harvest. They just gave me the word harvest. Okay. You were able to harvest whatever it was that you needed. You knew the cycles of time. There was a great connection to nature. They just keep showing me that because the moon cycles really stood out to me here. The sun and the moon were worshipped in this culture or in this society that you lived in, or you just were very connected to those natural cycles of time. Very connected to your fellow people, animals, plants. Yeah, the nature kingdom, they keep showing me that as well. And the Empress. That's like the sensuality. They're showing me a village of people. This could even be in the Amazon, actually. I don't know. It could be in India. But they're showing me a village of people. And you're kind of coming back out of the forest. And there's like little kids running around. There's mothers with babies swaddled. Yeah, it's very abundant. It feels very fertile. It feels peaceful. Very healing, which is all of the things that the Empress represents. And she's very like root sacral chakra energy because she's super creative and abundant, and she can create and do whatever she wants. It's that connection to nature to have your needs met. This looks like a beautiful life, group number 2. It's absolutely beautiful. 7 of emotions. This is emotional healing, they're saying. Yeah, so connecting to this past life is helping you to heal emotionally. Because this is like an imprint of trust. You trust your environment, you trust the people around you. It was a small-ish community, so everybody knew everybody, and it was very tribal, very community-oriented. Nature was on your side, and you all protected each other. So yeah, it feels like there was a deep sense of unity or connection and flow with the natural order of life. There were no like explicit jobs, quote unquote. There was no time that was being tracked other than the cycles of the moon and the harvests and the sun and things like that. Like there was no watches and whatever. It was like natural wisdom, they just said. Yeah, natural wisdom. Ace of emotions. Again, emotional activation, emotional healing, an initiation from the past. Again, they gave me that. Initiation from the past. I am seeing the fish here, so it could have been somewhere near the ocean as well. So this is a very diverse region that they're showing me, because it's like, you got the ocean, it might be on a coastline, there's like an Amazon type sort of forest, and then there's also desert there. So it's like really interesting and diverse. So again, it's like you had all of these resources, so many different things in the environment. Really cool. The moon card, yeah, I was getting like the sun and the moon were really important. They were worshipped, they said, yeah. So there was a deep connection with those luminaries, the luminaries, they just said. Connecting your modern life, group number 2, with the cycles of the sun and moon is going to be important for this healing. It's part of getting back into that natural flow and feeling at one with nature again, and feeling in that rhythm, because like the false rhythms that humans have created with, like clocks and watches, the Gregorian calendar, stuff like that, it goes kind of against nature in many ways. And so they want you to return to like your natural connection. The star. This could have also been a race of people, or a group of, they just give me the word indigenous tribe that tracked the stars. They are showing me this people, even like your ancestors, they're showing me your ancestors from that tribe using the stars to navigate. But they did it walking around, so they weren't necessarily seafaring, I don't think, because they're not showing me that. They're showing me people with like wooden spears, and they've got like animal hide around their, like loincloths, I think those are called, yeah. And they're walking around in the jungle, and they're stopping and looking up through the canopy and checking the stars every so often and then redirecting, yeah. So there's something about navigation, something about time, something about like using the natural world around you to navigate, or to feel connected to nature. I think that's really the biggest thing I can say here. Page of materials, and this is the initiation. They want you to reconnect with your natural roots. So if you live in like a highly modernized society, which I think most of us do, you're literally watching this on, the internet, there's a high likelihood that you've kind of lost some of your connection to that natural root, like that natural tribal, it's almost like this organic lifestyle, and I'm not talking about organic foods. I'm talking about like organic in the sense that it's not corrupted by technology. It's not corrupted by society, or like any of these cultural miasms is the word they just gave me. Cultural miasms, or miasma. Interesting. Of the technological evolution or age. So this is getting back to basics, back to nature, connecting to the natural rhythms. Yeah. Speaking of nature, let's get some animal oracle cards, because I feel like that's like really kind of in tune with what this reading is bringing through. Gorilla, take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Yeah, this has a lot to do with tribal, to do with family, to do with connections. I think they're actually, they were showing me monkeys before, but there were probably gorillas in this area as well. No, they said there wasn't. Okay, never mind. It was just monkeys. But anyway, taking time to listen, emotionally listen means feel, right? Like emotionally listening is feeling. So they're saying taking time to feel is going to be part of this initiation. And it's going to help you reconnect with this inner, we've got a couple of other ones here. This inner, these inner memories. Okay, all the cards are getting whatever. Manatee, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. I feel like there's some kind of emotional acceptance. Emotional acceptance. Polar bear, stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. Yeah, so acceptance, non-attachment. It feels very much like you're meant to be kind of like having this feeling of confidence and security within yourself, so that you're not swayed by some of the miasmas. They keep giving me that word, miasmas, of modern society. Emotional balance, sensual connection. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. For group number 2, Spirit, what else do they need to know about this past life? Dog. Group 1 had this too. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. Oh, I just hit my coffee cup. Ding. Yeah, it felt like confirmation. Okay, so this is like you connecting to yourself. Yeah, they told me to turn over the deck, and we have the condor. which says you're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or actions. So they're recalling you to this past life, group number 2, because there's something here about like emotional enmeshment or emotional attachment that has formed because you're disconnected from your natural roots. It's like you've they just said you've lost your spark. And they want you to listen to your emotions, to feel your emotions, to be able to process those things, releasing certain things, accepting stuff that you can't control. Force can be about control in the negative sense. And coming back into this inner faith that's connection to nature. Because there may be some conflicts in your relationships, is what they just told me, like in this current lifetime. Whereas in that previous lifetime, I'm feeling a lot of harmony in relationships specifically. Like there was many relationship dynamics in that tribe that were like everybody was interdependent, but not necessarily codependent, you know? The difference where you could all rely on each other, you all trusted each other, but you weren't overly involved or dependent on each other. There was like this unconscious sort of accepted understanding of mutual support. And I think in this lifetime, in the modern age, that's not necessarily something you find very easily. That's not something that's really like inbred into our society. We don't have those tribal roots or that connection with nature or ourselves as a result of that. So we lack those things. And I think that because in the lifetime that you were talking about in your current circumstances, like right now, the version of you that I'm talking to at the moment, I feel like you struggled a bit with this societal structure that you're in and the lack of connection. And so that may have shown up as symptoms of codependency or enmeshment or over-attaching to people or over-attaching to emotions or over-attaching to emotional or sensory pleasures because you were trying to fill this need that was not being met. It's nothing to be ashamed of. They just said that's, sacral chakra can hold shame. And so I think that's why this is an initiation and a cleansing and a healing of that, because it's not something to be ashamed of. This was, it's an unmet need since childhood, they just told me. And so they wanted to bring up this past life because it has healing codes in it. In its initiation back into that natural state of being that feels so much more holistic and nutritional to you, at a soul level. Like it feeds you and it is what you need. It's not a want, it's what you need. And that will help to remove those symptoms of overattachment or emotional fluctuations or issues in relationships to people. As a result, possibly, of lack of boundaries, right? Like if you don't know how to open up emotionally, to express your emotions, to set proper boundaries, if you're going about trying to get your needs met in sort of like a passive way, and people don't understand that. It's like, again, there's this overattachment, there's these patterns, it's like you're looking for support and you're not getting it, and so you're feeling more insecure as a result, and so you look for more support, and then it just like perpetuates itself and gets worse and worse and worse. Whereas in this past life, you had that outside support, which created this internal security, so you knew you could always rely on that outside support when you needed it, but you trusted yourself too. So it was a great balance, a beautiful harmony between those two. And they're taking me back to the symbol you guys chose, which is Ganesh. He's the remover of obstacles. So this is getting rid of some blocks in the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra. So helping to improve your sense of stability, your connection to yourself and your body, experiencing more of this like divine spark within. So you're feeling more connected to your emotions, more balanced and harmonious, able to express yourself in multiple different ways, able to experience your environment and feel nourished by it, and able to express and communicate your needs. I'm seeing a lot of like healthier boundaries, healthier regulation of your emotions, a stronger sense of self-security, and being able to relate to people more harmoniously and to have that sense of connection you need on the outside, really just as a mirror. We have those mirrors in that 5 of Inspiration card, mirroring back to you that inner security. Yeah. Okay, so they said we can get one of these cards as well for you, group number 2. What else does group 2 need to know? Be fearless. I was kind of feeling a little bit of You know, shame. Okay, so shame can make us feel afraid to voice our truths. It can make us afraid to take up space, afraid to ask for our needs. And I was getting some of that like passivity that may come through in this lifetime. So they want you to really like get connected with yourself again and with nature, knowing that you're supported. You have these structures of support outside of yourself, but also within you to create anything and everything that you need. Connecting to nature is going to help that, and it's going to call in your tribe here in the physical who are on that same wavelength. They just showed me the lighthouse. Yeah, so when you embody that frequency, this is an initiation activation of that. It calls in, right, the people who are aligned with that. And you are just getting so much stronger, like the gorilla. You know, I feel like you're going to have an innate feeling of inner strength. And through that, you're able to connect to this pride or tribe or band. What are groups of gorillas called? Like I don't know. There's always like a funny word for different groups of animals, but yeah, it feels like there's this tribe of people around you who are going to help you to feel more connected again, and also less attached. So more connected, less attached. And I've said this before. If you haven't heard me say this on the channel, I'll say it again now. Detachment is how we can connect. And those two seem like opposites, but paradox is really the true nature of unity. So by understanding this, basically by detaching, you are no longer attached. And therefore, because you're detached, you can actually connect. That's what I'm seeing here. You connect better with yourself and others, and then your needs are met. And then you don't have that same fear. Yeah, it's like you're able to trust yourself again. I'm getting like no more people pleasing. You're very loyal to yourself. You're still loyal to other people, but you're not gonna, like, no more shame, no more passivity. Oops, sorry, I kicked the thing. No more, yeah, you're like giving it the boot, you know, you're giving those things the boot because you're creating that inner stability and security. You don't need to go about getting your needs met in a passive way, leading to feelings of shame or blame or resentment or anything like that. I'm just feeling like there's a lot of confidence that I'm seeing here with you. Group number 2. Interesting. Yeah, so those blocks in those 3 chakras are being removed. Or rather, I should say you are removing them. It's not like they're just spontaneously being removed by some being outside of you. You are that being, okay? You are that strength. Trust yourself. Remember where you came from. Call that into the being right now. And you will start to experience more opportunities for that stability here in this current lifetime. Okay, so that is what I see for you, group number 2. I hope this reading helped. Really, you know, that's my highest intention, is to help you to integrate these different parts of yourself to do this self-healing and self-empowerment work. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you for supporting my work on the channel. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you to the members who support me through memberships, and they get the additional content there. If you guys are interested in joining the channel as a member, there is a join button down below the video underneath, you know, where the subscribe button is. I love you guys, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the sea turtle, and when Spirit had me choose this particular symbol for your reading, I was like, why for a past life reading, why a sea turtle? So I'm very interested to find out some information for you, group number 3, around this particular past life or past lives that are related to the sea turtle. Okay, so let me just tune in. Okay, so they're showing me a tropical environment. I did just see and hear the word Maui in my head. So this could have been in Maui or on the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah, it's like this beautiful crystal blue water. They're showing me sea turtles, coral, all these like tropical fish. Ooh, it's beautiful. I've never been there, but I'm loving what they're showing me. Okay. I'm seeing somebody doing spear fishing. Yeah, there's like a little rowboat, a little wooden rowboat, and there's 2 guys in it, and there's one guy who's got the spear in his hand, and he's like spearing these like what looks almost like angelfish to me, or some kind of tropical fish. The other guy's holding the boat steady. And they've also got nets too, so they've got nets and spears, multiple ways to catch fish. Okay, so this may have been a past life as a fisherman, and there was a lot of connection to the ocean. Yeah, that's why the sea turtle. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, they're even showing me that you would like dive down to the bottom. It wasn't very deep, you know, you're fishing in the shallows, and you dive down to the bottom, maybe like 8 feet or so, And there was these clams or like oysters, and you would get those for food as well. So very, very sea-based tribe, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, society based on the sea is what they said. Okay. So there's probably a lot of connection that you have, group number 3, to the ocean kingdom, to the ocean gods, they just said, and those could be varying from different cultures, but there could also be like some Hawaiian or like island type mythology or island type gods and goddesses. Maybe something you're drawn to, or those may be activating for you because it's like there's recall from those past lives. I'm feeling like there was multiple past lives in this location, okay? And I'm getting multiple different areas like Maui, Hawaii. I'm also, they did give me the words Papua New Guinea, and I don't think those are in the same area. I'm so bad at geography, you guys. I failed that so hard in school. It's almost giving me like Moana vibes. I mean, that's not what it is, but like it feels like that. Except for they're not afraid of the ocean. Like they thrive in the ocean. This clan, this tribe, this past life. Okay, let's look at some cards. Let's get some additional information. What is this past life wanting to bring up for you, group number 3? We have the mouse. You're overlooking some important details. So what? I'm trying to pronounce pay closer, and it's coming out of my mouth. Play coast. The important details here may be that your soul is wanting to become more playful on a coastline. It's like something about reconnecting to the ocean or living closer to the ocean if you don't. Playing on the coast. They keep telling me that. Okay, so anyway, it says you're overlooking some important details. Pay closer attention to what's going on. Panda, create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or workplace. Bring in shells is what they're showing me. Shells, things from the ocean. You may already do that, but there's something, it's like there's so much healing for you through this connection to the ocean. It was like a major part of your life in these lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. Did I mention that? I can't remember, but there was, 3 lifetimes that they're showing me specifically. Unicorn, ooh, I love it. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression. Yeah, they were saying play. So it feels like playfulness, creativity is important here. Playing in the water. It's definitely giving me Moana vibes. Emu, this is a good time to go on a new adventure. Yeah, it's like, this is what your soul is longing for, group number 3. Your soul is longing for some kind of an adventure, playing in the ocean or on the ocean, maybe traveling to one of these locations if you're nearby to one. Maybe you even live there now. This could be like a 4th incarnation where you're in those areas. But yeah, it's like there's something about adventure, indulging your creativity, because it's going to spark this artistic expression. It's going to create this inner reconnection. It's a sacred space for you, the ocean. Tiger, you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. And I did mention Moana, and that is a story, if you haven't seen the movie, about a girl who's the daughter of the tribe leader, and she is very playful with the ocean. She's called to the ocean. She has like this destiny to be back in the ocean. And she's going to be a leader of her tribe, but her father is afraid of the ocean, and so he resists that. Tries to get her to maintain her life on land. But inevitability will be what it is. She ends up going on this quest through the ocean to connect with the demigod Maui. Oh yeah, his name is Maui. Oh my god. I didn't even put that together. Holy crap. Okay. So and then she's supposed to restore the heart of Te Fiti to save her land. So that could be some of like the archetypal theme that your soul is wanting to explore in this lifetime, some of those aspects, and like returning to the ocean, returning to these seafaring ways, or connecting to the ocean on a daily basis, like actually living in a coastal city or town or village, and being connected through that sacred space. It's like so healing for you, and it sparks your creativity, and it's like puts you into this leadership energy. Maybe it's just leading yourself and like going on an adventure. That's very leadership too. Shark, trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Yeah. Trusting the ocean, they said. Humpback whale. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. So this could be part of the sacred expression, the creativity. Creating a sacred space for yourself to be able to receive that inspiration, they just said. Okay, they're taking me back and forth between the mouse and the tiger. And they're saying you're being called upon to provide leadership and you're capable of doing so, but there's something here that they want you to pay closer attention to what's going on because there's some details that have been overlooked. Okay. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. If you live by the ocean, it would be like walking by the sea. It'll bring you inspiration and insight. Hawaiian owl. Okay, your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. Yeah, they keep saying pay close attention, pay close attention. They've said that twice now, verbatim, and they want you to, I think you're going to get this through connection to the ocean, or when you're walking near the ocean, or when you're meditating in that ocean energy. So that's why they're saying like create a sacred space where there's ocean vibes in some way. And then pay attention because your spirit guides are connecting to you. It's these Hawaiian gods they keep showing me. They're like archetypes of your soul that you trust and that you want to work with. Roadrunner, keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. Yeah, they keep saying like play is a big part of this. Like, yes, you have a big mission and you're meant to be in a leadership position, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun or be creative or be childlike and free. You know, it doesn't have to be all business and all work and no play. Bottom of the deck, we have take time to rest and recuperate, then continue your striving. Oh, I read that wrong. It says take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving, but I think my first one was channeled, so okay. They're saying like rest and then you can continue striving. Okay, we're going to get some tarot cards to clarify. So what else does group number 3 need to know here? Why is this past life coming up, and what is the relevance in terms of like that leadership energy? Okay, you've got the Tower card. Oh, Page of Swords. Yeah, they're trying to communicate to you, like really, your guides are giving you like these really intense signs and synchronicities, group number 3. Really loud, like you almost can't ignore it, but they're telling me like in some way you haven't been paying attention. Maybe not trusting your instincts. Yeah, they're giving you like these frequency downloads. They're calling you into this leadership position, but maybe you're like willingly not wanting to hear it or something. The High Priestess, yeah, they're telling you trust your instincts. Like you need to like connect to this intentionally and trust your intuition, because I think maybe part of you not paying closer attention is that you don't trust what's coming through. Maybe you don't believe that you're this magical being or that you've lived these past lives or something like that. Maybe there's a part of you that doubts that, but it's like you're meant to be very intuitive. And in those past lives, there was a lot of intuition. A lot of it was just trusting your instincts. Like you had to be like that, you know? And that was encouraged, is what they're telling me. That was encouraged. It was very normal, very natural. Everyone was very intuitive in this clan, in this tribe. And especially when you were in the ocean, you know, you had to be very, very energetically sensitive. They're showing me actual reef sharks. And it's like if you put out the right vibration, they don't attack you. Everybody knew this, because you just did that. And it would like there was prayers that you would say to get yourself into the right headspace before you would do a dive. Whoa, you could hold your breath for minutes is what they're showing me, probably even longer. There was a lot of community collaboration, but everybody was very, very like individually very intuitive. The Empress. I heard creating your own stability, and they pointed me to the unicorn. Okay, I don't know why, group number 3, but I'm getting this message of you're running away from something. But I don't know why you're running. So, but that message is coming through, and it's like there's something. I'm trying to put I can't quite put my finger on why or when this is coming from. Like, are you running away from something now? Or are you running away from something that happened in that past life? Okay, just asking the question out loud, I got an answer. It's running away from something now. Running away from leadership, I think, is part of this, because it kind of like makes you stand out, it makes you different. And I think in those previous past lives, you trusted your instinct and your intuition, but you were more comfortable in like a sort of background position, like humble roots. They just said humble roots, okay. But you're kind of being called out of your comfort zone. They want you to be in more of a position of responsibility, whatever that means for you. But it's like there's this part of you that feels really small and doesn't necessarily feel comfortable to show up and be almost like exposed that way. Oh, that's why, okay. But it's like you're being called to do this, and it's something to do with creativity. Maybe it just feels threatening. Maybe you don't feel like you're ready, but they're saying that you are. Group number 3, the moon card. It's like some subconscious stuff around feeling like, oh, that's somebody else's job. Somebody else is in the leadership position. I just go catch the fish. And it's like, no, but yeah, you did that and that's fine. But like now there's something bigger that you're meant to do. The Lovers. A lot of major arcana here, I'm noticing. I feel like you have a decision to make, group number 3, and I do feel like you've been playing it safe. I just got to say that because that's the vibe I'm getting. It feels like you've been playing it safe, but your soul is calling you out of your comfort zone, and if you haven't been paying attention to those signs, or if you've been running away from them actively, they're going to throw sort of like things at you to disrupt, it's like divine intervention, okay? Like, it's not bad, but they're going to be divinely intervening because your soul wants something, and if your ego is opposed to it or running away from it because it doesn't feel like it's capable or ready, it is, like you are, but the ego just for some reason is like having a block around this. But if your soul wants something, your soul's going to do it. Like it's far be it from me to question the power of your soul. Like I feel like you're gonna do it. So pay attention to the guidance that you get, and it may come through creative inspiration. The Judgment card is on the bottom of the deck. Lots of major arcana, so this is like a major thing for you. This is a major soul level evolution. I think maybe that's why it feels so uncomfortable, is because in this life, you're really like shifting gears, you're changing your role. In these previous lifetimes, it was more about like these humble lives where you just wanted to kind of like go about your business, do your thing, catch your fish, go home to your wife or your family or whatever, and that was it. But in this lifetime, the one we're talking about like literally right now, the version of you that's watching this reading is being called into a position of leadership in some way. Maybe it's just you being independent in your creativity, or maybe it's you being psychic in some way, or speaking your psychic truth or your spiritual truth, because I'm seeing a lot to do here with instincts and magic and purification and meditation and spirit guides and stuff. So it's like very, music, like healing frequencies. So you could be called into a leadership position in that area, healing people or doing subconscious work, channelings, things like that is what I'm seeing. And you're very good at this, so don't doubt yourself is what they're saying, but your ego is kind of like, no, on some level. So you got a choice to make, but I think the reason that they're calling you to this reading today is to help you to gain confidence in yourself again. Like, you can do this, and those past lives are coming up so that you can kind of like see where you came from and how far you've come. And those past lives were so valuable, and they hold a lot of skills that you're going to be able to use in this one. And the ocean is so healing. So the more you connect to that, I think the more stable you'll feel, and the more creatively inclined you will be to express yourself and step into that more visible position and not feel quite so threatened. It's like you're a tiger and you're scared of this mouse, and it's like, why? Oh, you may be called to move. Maybe that's why there's resistance or you're running away from it, group number 3, because they did just give me the message of the panda was talking about sacred space. They showed me the Page of Swords cutting something and then the Tower card falling. So this can be about like physically moving locations, and maybe maybe that feels scary to you. Maybe that feels uncomfortable because in those lifetimes you were very sort of like home-based. You didn't stray far from home. You would go out into the ocean, not that far, and then you'd go back onto the island. So it was very like small. Okay, yeah, that's why playing small is an issue here. Okay, but they are really, really like encouraging you to trust. Like they keep repeating trust. The High Priestess is about trust, instinct, trusting your instincts. Yeah, they showed me the branch here that the Hawaiian owl is sitting on. It's like going out on a limb, trusting yourself. And they're telling me that they're going to provide a way, okay? So if you feel called to move to a particular area, or maybe you don't yet, but you will in the future, and it's like your soul knows this, but your ego is like, no. They're telling me that they're going to provide a way. So the more that you trust and follow your intuition and your instincts, the easier this is going to become. The more playful it's going to be, they just said. The more playful it's going to be. They really don't want you to take this so seriously and feel like it's something scary. Like, embrace it with the curiosity of a child, Look at everything as this new adventure, new opportunity, expansion, the capacity to be free, to explore, to experience new things and to express yourself in new ways. This is what your soul is calling you to, and this is why you were drawn to this reading and why this past life is, multiple past lives are coming up, because it's helping you to see that and see, pun intended, and then you'll be able to move forward. Okay, so I hope this reading helped group number 3. That is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. I so appreciate all of your support, whether it's likes, shares, subscribes, memberships as well, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. I really appreciate you guys helping me to keep doing this work for you, because I love it and I hope you do too. And I love you guys too. So I will see you in the next reading. Bye.